Hello everyone and welcome to this short video on Jester of Blades, answering your questions on the Aluminium Dussacks. Anthony and I launched the Aluminium Dussacks the week before last week, I suppose it was, and we got a couple of questions and we decided it would be the better solution to do a video answering your questions in full and do some demonstrations instead of just writing you comments. So here goes nothing. First question that we got was, do these take a set very easily? Because you can imagine, if you already have the the plastic Dussacks. I don't have one here, but I have this plastic masso. If you have one of these, they can start to take a set during combat. You can see that I can bend it with my hand quite easily, and now it has like a bend in it, which can be bent back fairly easily on the plastic ones. And you can see this is kind of the thing with these. They start to become a bit wavy once they have been bent back and forth a couple of times. But question of you was, does this happen on the Aluminium Dussacks as well? And I'll let you be the judge of it. As you could see, I was standing on this Aluminium Dussack with my full weight. This is the very Dussack I was standing on, and maybe hold this into the camera. You can see it's still perfectly straight. It hasn't taken any set, and I was standing on it with my full weight, which is 90 kilos, about 200 pounds, and it didn't budge at all. We did the same to the plastic Dussacks just to test it out, and the test results you can see in the next clip. So Anthony is a bit lighter than me. He's about 72 kilos, which is around 160 pounds, and the Dussack couldn't bear his weight, which is to be expected, of course. I don't expect this from the plastic ones. They just are not as stiff as the aluminium, and but what a point that I'd like to make is these will not bend in combat. Like, I can't bend it with my hand. They will stay straight, and the thing is, they therefore are a lot more precise in the bind, because while these can start to wobble from side to side in the bind, that can't happen in the Aluminium Dussacks. Also, the plastic ones, I don't know if you ever had like these very loose feathers, or like these very bendy rapey blades in the hand. They kind of have this whipping action. It's not that extreme on the plastic ones, but it also exists kind of. So that's one point. On the other hand, we got some questions about the knuckle bow. Is the knuckle bow maybe too thin, and will it bend out all the way? Well, I'll let you be the judge of it. As you could see, I was smacking this Dussack into the anvil full force with the knuckle bow. And did it bend? Yes, slightly, but not much. Let's take one that hasn't been smacked into the anvil and lay them on top of each other, and just align them quite nicely. Hard to do. So there is a bit, I don't know if you can see this, but there is like 3 millimeters or something that it's bowed in, but really not much. So I think it's safe to say you will knock out or kill your clubmate or a sparring partner before you break your knuckles when punching him. We did the same experiment with the plastic Dussacks as well. So here goes the clip. Okay, so the plastic didn't break, but Anthony told me he was trying to fit his heavy gloves, or his hand, including the heavy gloves, into the handle, and it did not fit anymore where it was fitting before. So there definitely was enough deformation there to make the handle not fit his hand anymore. Now these are of course extreme tests and do not in any form represent the use case or the wear that they would get in real life. So I think it's safe to say that bows will protect your hands, but these will not take a set or they won't bend in normal use. They have a bit of scarring down here, of course, from the anvil, which is to be expected. If you smack a sword into the anvil, it would of course also become dented and maybe even chip. So that's perfectly normal. So quick side course, why is that? I've ground up some numbers, I've prepared some numbers, and a way to characterize a material is by taking its tensile strength. The tensile strength of a material is, how to explain it the best way? You take a defined part of the material and then you start stretching it, and the cross section of the probe that you stretch it is well defined, and the amount of force divided by the cross section of the probe that you need to stretch it a certain amount and to start making it move, like deformed plastic, like a deformation that does not go back to the initial state. That's the tensile strength. So that's the amount of force, so to say, you can put onto a material before it starts to deform plastically. And this tensile strength on aluminium, on the aluminium I am using, this AW7075, which is pretty much the sum of, there is a stronger blend of aluminium, the 8000 series, but it starts to become brittle and hard to work with. So this I decided to use the 7075 aluminium for this, which is still ductile enough to perform as a weapon, but strong enough to not deform. And the tensile strength on this aluminium, I found numbers ranging from 240 in thicker cross sections to 475 megapascals on these thinner cross sections. For comparison, normal structural steel S235JR, I found numbers from around 235 megapascals tensile strength. So the aluminium used on these Dussacks is around as strong as S235JR, tensile strength wise, up to 2 times as strong as S235JR. I cannot be 100% sure because I do not have the means to test this very material that I have used on these, but somewhere in between there. Quick reference maybe. Most of the manufacturers I know use structural steel or something similar in that amount to make the hilts or cross guards and pommels for their swords. So they are about on par, strength-wise. Long story short, they will not break. They will not bow in. What else I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah. Should I get these if I already have the plastic ones, or do I need the aluminium Dussacks? And I don't have a definitive answer for you, because it depends. It depends on you and your skills, as well as your likings and your preferences. Do you care about the finish of your weapon? Then yes, I'd say. They are just a lot nicer. They sit a lot nicer in your hand, especially once you get the handle scales on there. They are a lot nicer. They feel a lot more worthy. They move a lot more willingly. They are better balanced than the plastic ones, and they are a lot more proficient in the bind. Also, if you care about the origin of your materials that you buy, are they made in Europe? Are they made elsewhere in the world? Have they been imported from long ways? Then these are fully European made. And then it of course depends on your personal skills as well. Maybe give you an example. I can drive my Volkswagen Golf around the Nordschleife and have a lot of fun there, driving my Volkswagen. Will it be as proficient as driving a race car around there? No, of course not. It is not a race car. It is a Volkswagen Golf made for daily driving. And then again, having more fun in a race car and being more proficient, would that justify for me to buy a race car? No, it would not, because I do not drive often enough on the Nordschleife to justify me buying a race car. It depends. Like, this is a bit like the race car. Do you do HEMA often enough and proficiently enough that you need a professional tool for the purpose you're going for? And that is a question that you can only answer yourself. Can you drive the Nordschleife with your daily driver? Yes, you can, and you can have a lot of fun there. Can you do HEMA with just a plastic Dussack? Of course you can. Will you be more proficient when having this Dussack? Maybe. Depends on your skills and your professional attempts. And well, they will last you longer than the plastic ones, I can definitely say this. If you are annoyed by bending them back every so often, in the bout, after the bout, if you are annoyed by your Dussack becoming wavy, this is the tool for you. On a separate note, the price tag is heavy. I know that. I'm fully aware of that. Anthony is fully aware of that. With the amount we spent on making these, we can hardly go lower. But the price, well, you can separate it on multiple shoulders. Like you can buy these with your club, have like 2 or 4 of these in your club available for the members of the club, and for a club where they get used regularly around the week, like if you have 3 trainings a week, then they might be very well worth the investment. And they might also pose a very nice gift item to a friend. Like if you think about it, would you like to gift your friend a plastic Dussack, or would you rather work together with all your friends in the club and get them this, which is well worked, feels worthy in the hand, moves nicer, all those things. So some points to consider and some points to make your decisions after. I hope that after the COVID thing stops and everything opens again, I can come to your club, come to events around Europe, come to events around Germany especially, and then you can hold these in your hand yourself, because I personally think quality is not something I can transfer in video or in pictures or in some description text on my website or on Black Armory's website. Quality is something you got to feel yourself. And well, due to COVID, I can't come to your club at the moment. I'm not allowed to. But after that's over, I hope to I hope to be around Europe, Great Britain, Germany, as I said, France, Austria, Switzerland, and to get these to you so you can touch them yourself, get a feel for them, and then maybe have a better grasp on if that's something for you or not. So that's all about what I have today, and thanks for watching. Until the next time on Jester of Blades.